Welcome to another episode of the Bastard Sermon. I'm one of you three hosts, Cody Hooker,
Luke Young,
Lloyd Johnson.
and this week we have on Bert Sigafoos. Give it up, motherfuckers.
That would be me.
Lloyd, please.
Thank you, gentlemen.
I'm so excited to talk to your guest because we've been hanging out with him. We met up with him up in Northside. He's been nothing but fun, nothing but smiles across my face the entire time, nothing but good stories, positive energy.
Super cute.
If you would, super cute, of course, and if you would, just set him up for our listeners really quickly.
All right, so I've known Bert for 20 years-ish. Yeah.
About that, yeah.
It's always been... He was friends with Joe, who was a good friend of mine.
The one that cut the other one's head off? Just for reference to the people that have been listening.
Yeah,
Wait, did that happen?
Yeah.
Oh.
He cut her fucking head off.
Oh, you don't know all this.
Wow.
Ooh.
Oh.
You dropped that bomb on more people than you realize.
No, he did it last time. I should have
Okay.
saved this as the big climax. I just didn't know that he wasn't aware of it yet.
Yeah,
I'm
I was
sorry.
going to say, before we got into that, I'm not
I like
sure.
to climax early, so yeah, we're good.
I love this guy. Let's
All right,
keep going.
already pulled it in as a good guest for the show. Bert's been in a handful of different bands, and every time I've ever been around him, it's either a super fucked up story or a super fun night.
Yeah.
So
You're very welcome.
we were kind of talking beforehand. Bert was saying, we've always got each other. I mean, from like right off when we met, we're both like, all right, I like this dude.
All right, I'll tell you what. Lead into a story about your friend. Since you've had him on, I know that there's a million of them, but if you could start with just one, don't fucking, bury the lead, but like something, just like a little taster of your friend, a little story taster of what your friend is.
All right, let's see. We've been doing a fun game of Do You Remember This?
Oh, yeah.
We left Sudsy Malone's after seeing, I think, the Dwarves.
Okay, which band? Yeah, the Dwarves?
I think that's what we... Maybe. I think it was a...
Phenomenal band,
Whatever.
by the way.
We
Absolutely,
we're at
yeah.
Sudsy's. We go up to Sub Galley. Joe gets into an argument with someone. I'm like trying to get the big dude away from Joe. All of a sudden, I just see a combat boot attached to a leg fly past my field of vision as Bert jump kicked the guy in the fucking face to start what turned into basically an entire
A riot.
bar. And Bert's laughing the entire time. Like, as people are swinging punches past him and he's throwing punches back and kicking it.
In the legal world, they have a word called aggravated riot. I think that's what you're describing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean-
I'll take that.
should have been the band name at the time.
Right.
But yeah, that was right before all the shit where you guys ended up going to jail and all. It was just like not long before that.
Actually, so that's actually a great anecdote because I'm really glad I did that for Joe because he did the exact same for me on St. Patrick's Day.
Yep.
There was a giant barroom brawl, and I had a bottle smashed over the back of my head. I was grabbing that, but Joe was the one who saw the guy who smashed my head, and again, foot just flying through the air. Take this motherfucker out.
Right.
Do you remember why you were taking that motherfucker out?
Well, because it was Joe had issues.
Well, you're
with
saying
a lot of
a
people.
story of do you remember? I don't want to interrupt, but I'm only
Sure,
asking
yeah,
because it's like, does he remember? Is that
All right, so there were two big dudes that were real not happy with Joe. The biggest one that looked like the
Joe for
threat.
context? We know who Joe is, but Joe for context for the listeners.
Sure,
One of my
yeah.
best friends for a long, long time. Very troubled kid.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was a guy who was a tormented man.
We don't have to go deep into it, but
I only
just
knew
for
him as an
context.
adult, but
Yeah.
we met at working the same job at Burger's Bagels, and
One of the best bagel
made
spots in Cincinnati.
Absolutely delicious.
Yeah. So the story I started with where Bert did that. As we're leaving, Bert like gives Joe like he's grabbing Joe around the neck like, dude, I did it too. Like talk, and I was like, hold on, what? And he's like, yeah, like the same thing he just went into about St. Patrick's Day. He's like, yeah, some guy hit me in the head with a bottle, and then Joe like flowed through, like flying through the air and kicked the dude. So he's like, so I wanted to do that back, or so, I can't remember how you like said it, but it was
Reciprocate, or
It sounded like two little brothers doing karate in the garage. Like, I did that thing too. But I'm hearing all this, and they're drunken back and forth as Joe just picked a fight with people for a reason none of us are aware of. No one has any idea what was happening.
Do you really need one? You know.
Hey, you see a friend in a fight, you just join in.
Right. Most of the stories I have with Joe or another friend of ours, Sam, always end with me in a fight on their behalf. It was a real it was a real common thing that popped up with those two. So Joe walks into Sub Galley. I mean, we're talking. I don't think I was in the front door yet when I started hearing people yell. I walk in and Joe's like finger in the face of this one dude yelling at him about something with some girl that I know nothing about. And then this big dude who actually looks like he knows how to fight walks over and I'm like, let me talk to this guy. Like I'm like pulling that guy aside like, hey man, just know he's fucked up. It's not a blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to let it get out of hand. You know, I'll keep him cool. I'm going to talk to him and just foot flying past me and just kicks the other big dude that was standing there. And I'm like, well, fuck it. I guess
this is getting
Dynamic entry.
I guess we're all just swinging. But it was like, you know, on some of the fighting games where like the other, like you call in your other character and they just fly in with a kick. It really, like I'm trying to like calm the situation down as by far the most sober
And the
one in the
assist
group.
character comes in.
Yeah,
Hits him with the special.
Yeah, Joe is already tag teamed in Bert, and fucking Bert's coming in with an already flying fucking wheel kick right to somebody's dome piece.
Which apparently the entire point of starting it that way was to pay Joe back because Joe had done it a couple months before or whatever.
Yeah.
How much of this do you remember, by the way? I'm sorry, Luke, you were about to say something.
It's like you know, you don't even see the situation. You see like the situation as like a toy. Like, oh fuck, this is my time. Like it's happening right now. Like I'm not really seeing what's happening, but I see they're fucking with my friend, and I can do this right now.
Absolutely.
Like I said, he was so
I
excited.
don't need context in the least. Just.
Right. This is the setup.
Yeah, I got it. Let's go.
I was gonna say he seemed so much more excited to tell us why after we were leaving than he got upset during the entire fight.
Yeah,
Like I
really
said-
had no rational reason to do it.
That's why he's laughing the
Other
whole fight.
than like, yes, I gotta get him back.
But it really was like I remember. So I ended up getting hit by the guy that I had pulled aside trying to calm down. Like I turned around after I saw, you know, a flying fucking boot come past me and just kick some other fratty looking boy.
I just imagine at that point, Lloyd's arms, like the biceps pop out and like armor comes out of those and just like seal his arms up and like there's a fucking like a RoboCop face mask that comes down like a visor and shit like that. He starts like laser visioning people.
Leave
you can
me out of
actually
your
see them.
weird Gundam porn, please.
I was
In my head,
picturing
it was
more
like-
as like Batman shields. Like
Mine was like
the
some
Batmobile.
sort of Street Fighter. Like they were in normal clothes, but as soon as the fight started, they're suddenly in gis. And like, and
I imagine
Lloyd
Lloyd
is
always-
shouldering off like the gi off of his arm. It's not even his arms aren't through the sleeve. They're gestured around his shoulders, and he just like shoulders it off.
I love the idea that Lloyd's always in a gi, like just constantly ready to, like just at any moment, all of his fucking clothes are attached by Velcro that he can rip off, and he's immediately in a gi, and he's got his black belt with like 3 red stripes on it, just ready to go.
I was gonna say that.
The funny part is, no less than an hour before this happened, I was in a gi. I met them at the show. I came from jiu-jitsu and to meet them at the show. So there was a gi in my car. This could have happened if someone had just given me a little
So
forewarning.
close.
If
So
someone had just
close.
been like, hey, I'm going to fly and kick some frat boy in the face, I would have just left the gi on.
Superman's got a phone book, and Lloyd has a fucking Subaru Outback.
Yeah. It's a cross track, bitch. But yeah, it was like I said, there's so many stories like that with me and with Bert and I that are either one of us have to start with, I don't know how much of this you remember, because most of the time, like I said, it was either one or the other of us was fucked up.
was not together at that moment.
Because I mean, that was just the time where we were around each other most, was when I was as wild as I got, and these guys
Yeah, that
were.
was the time.
Dog, just meeting Bert, I can imagine him getting that fucked up. Like, just meeting you, like, no disrespect, but I can see it. But knowing you for even the short amount of period that I've known you, I feel like I've got to know you real well. I never see you get completely off the rails. Not that you're not capable of it, but the idea that you have these moments where you can't fucking remember. I'm like, how much alcohol has he consumed at this? But like he must have fucking, like, whatever the vats that they brew fucking some liquor in. He must have turned on the spigot and just drank from it until his belly filled up.
I just swam in it for a while, so it got into the skin. You know,
I'm waiting to hear like a story of like, oh yeah, there's that one time where we both spat in this man's mouth so much there's just a pool of saliva oozing out. Like,
all right, so to fill Bert in, I told a story that didn't seem that crazy to me, where.
I love this setup. Keep going.
I was basically trying to make someone fight me. I was in a really bad mood. I saw a guy like jerking his kid around by the collar. But I was trying to make him fight me, so I pushed him against the wall, and as he was screaming, "Fuck you," I spit into his mouth.
Oh.
Because I'm like, you're
Solid
for sure,
move.
you're
Solid
for
move.
sure
I
going to fight
appreciate
me
that,
after
yeah.
that,
and then
right?
he grabbed his dick.
And he just, but he bitched out. And then I was like, I can't just beat this dude up in front of his child.
Well, you pin him down and jerk him off. That's really how you emasculate him.
Well, what I did was instead, I pinned him down and I had his kid stand on
Jerk
the other
me
side,
off.
and I taught him how to jerk off onto his dad.
I'm sorry to interrupt you joke. All right, so I think your setup though was a story of a similar situation where maybe Lloyd was too fucked up to remember something. I'm sure you've seen Lloyd get down and dirty and bout it. Do you have something similar where you're just like, I don't know if Lloyd would remember this, but I saw a flying fucking a bearded wheel kick from Lloyd.
There's one time he stabbed someone and we just didn't say
I've
anything
never
about
stabbed
it.
anyone.
Wait,
I've been stabbed.
I don't know
stabbed
this story. Luke, please.
I mean, I was just wondering if it was locked in the vault
I think he
somewhere.
was
You
just
guys got some
assuming I had that.
stabbings like hidden somewhere.
I've been stabbed a few times, but
Oh man.
But do you have one of
unfortunately
those?
not by Lloyd.
Do you have one of those though, where it's
Fortunately.
a similar situation where it's like something he might not remember, but you remember distinctly, like he was like taking care of business? Sorry,
Honestly,
about
I do have shit for memory. I usually need a slight prompt to fire it off, but
Like I said, I don't know how
can't
much you
help.
saw at that show, but you probably remember like the big crowd being pulled outside as the show was starting at the Buzz with Miasma, the one you were showing the flyer for.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Like you probably saw at least the effects of what I was doing,
Right. Yes.
and that was one where Joe called me like, "Oh no," or I called Joe and he's like, "No, dude, we're about to play it. We're at the Buzz," and I'm like,
Yeah, I think I was stuck inside,
Yeah.
so I did not get to see the
So as
the
I come in
extent
the-
of this madness.
As soon as I come in the door, it turns into me and a bunch of like Courage Crew guys getting into a fight, and it all goes out. And like all the people that were up by the stage and around and all that were all like, "Cool, like those guys are out of here."
Yeah, they're gonna suck.
But that was one of those ones where I was fucked up, walked in because Joe had just told me like 20 minutes before, and I was already down in Clifton, so I just walked all the way up to the fucking Buzz from like down by where the Mad Frog was. And as I walk in the door, actually I didn't even make it all the way through the door. I was at the door, and I end up getting into a fist fight with one of those guys. Like I've been bent backwards over a mailbox punching him, and all the rest of these guys come
How
swarming.
many felonies is that? Like you're accidentally opening people's mail with the head of another man.
This guy-
as you're committing violent assault.
Hey, this guy ordered brass knuckles.
Yeah, so all the
Yeah,
other
his return address is right here on the
All the
spikes
other-
of my brass knuckle.
all the other Courage Crew guys follow out, and they're like basically surrounding me.
Yeah.
And then that
they're
chick that sang
courageous.
for Miasma, I cannot remember her name. Little bitty.
Truly, how courageous of that crew.
You're right.
That was good.
Sorry.
Wait,
I can't remember her name. I've met her a million times, but
fuck,
she came out.
I've been out of town for a while.
Is it Erica
so
Russell?
No,
I've been out of town
I'm
for
sorry.
a while, so like
I'll
I
cut that out.
do actually have shit memory on a
Yeah.
lot of these little stories.
but you know who I'm talking
I
about.
do
She
know
came out,
exactly. I can picture in my mind.
this tiny little rowdy girl starts like screaming and pushing these dudes that are surrounding me, like, "You ain't fucking touching me. Ain't nobody getting jumped at a fucking show. Blah, blah. You guys don't know how the fuck this works." I mean, aggressively screaming and pushing dudes twice her size. And then one of the guys from her band comes out, and I was like, he's gonna kill somebody. Like just the look on his face, the whole look he had. I was like, I'm gonna witness a murder. And he just was the calmest night. Like looking at him, I was certain he was just gonna start stabbing. But he was like the calmest, like he knew all those guys. He's like, "Hey, blah, 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 this is something between them. You guys can't get involved." Da, da, da.
Yeah.
And then he just goes back to looking like something out of like a H.R. Geiger painting.
Death
Like,
stare, yeah.
yeah, just like staring at nothing. and like standing in a weird
Just
posture.
the shadow man to take away the loser.
Like again, dude, when you see him, you're like, he's gonna kill somebody. Like he
Yeah.
looked not okay. Like he looked like if you had taken his blood, it would have been hard to find blood in the drug stream. And no, he ended
There's
up
too
being
much
the coolest.
PCP in this.
And then cops come up. The owner of the Buzz comes out. Cops like start shooing all those Courage Crew guys off. The owner of the Buzz was like grabbed my shoulders like he's all right, he's all right, he's all right, he's all right, he's all right. I know him. I know, which I don't remember knowing that guy, but I guess I did from somewhere.
Wait,
Gay
was
sex.
that the chubby dude that
Yeah.
used to run Moles?
Yeah. Or I
Moles
know
Records.
Yeah,
Moles
yeah,
Records
yeah,
on
yeah,
Vine
yeah.
Street.
I was gonna say the record
Sort
shop.
of,
Yeah, yeah. Fuck.
I
Top
would just
Cat-
call
Top
him
Cats.
Mole.
He like had something to do with like Top Cats or whatever too.
Vicky ran Top Cat.
No, I'm saying like he worked.
Doesn't
there
matter,
or
boys. Keep
booked
telling the
shit,
story.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make sure. Right.
We're contextualizing, goddammit.
Yeah, we're piecing back together memories from 15 fucking years
This
ago.
is
Sorry.
how it works, Luke. I'm sorry.
I didn't complain.
Yeah, Luke, that's
Oh,
how
that
it
was
works.
you. Yeah.
No,
fuck
you're
up,
right.
Luke.
That's how it works, Luke. You piece of shit. Stop interrupting them.
But anyway, that guy came out. So one of the cops just walks me around the corner, and then after all the rest of them are gone, he just let me go back
After
in.
he jerked you off.
Yeah, I mean, it was each other
Pinned
Oh,
down and then jerked off.
with my butt. But
After this story,
Not sure how that works.
we're
but
going to go
for it.
sideline into another topic, but finish this story
Absolutely.
out. But
yeah,
I have
they let me back in just in time for. I get in and I look up on stage, and there's Bert and Joe and all those guys, and they're wearing like president masks.
Yes. Yeah.
I think you had a keytar at the time.
I did have a keytar. So yeah, the band this is Skin Curtain. We would generally
say that band again.
Skin Curtain.
Okay.
Gotta love it.
Who doesn't love vaginas? I mean, come on. But so yeah, we were like I feel like at this point we were wearing like kind of like button down look. So it's like
Is it like a metalcore band
no. Well,
or like hardcore, whatever, like post-hardcore sort of situation? The only reason I'm asking
it
is
blurred
because
a few genres over the years.
I'm only
that
asking because
existed.
the button-down thing just resonates in that scene for me for whatever reason.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. No, but it was kind of like an emerging thing, so we were doing that. We were like button-down outfits, but we always took it in a weird direction. Like there was actually to share an anecdote.
Anecdote?
Oh God damn!
Anecdote.
All right, anecdote. Yes, sorry.
I was like, hold on.
All right, so yeah, let me finish this story and then. So yeah, at that show we're all in like button-down outfits and wearing presidential Halloween masks. My favorite show we ever did, though, we all came out wearing like plastic suits, so it almost looks space-ish, and we all had monkey masks.
Okay.
So the space monkeys in and blue fireballs.
Wait, Rammstein
To the
style?
ceiling. Yes, I was the fireball guy, by the way.
Did you have pyrotechnics, like experts, like
No,
were
he
you
was just
trained?
blowing.
Or,
No,
like,
it
you
was
just have
me.
a Roman candle
It
that
was-
you've lit that's in your mouth at this point.
No, it was what's it called, Everclear, and a lighter.
Oh God, yeah. The way that all professionals train it.
Duh.
Yeah, the one time though it was my Everclear.
Oh,
that
did we steal
that Joe
yours?
stole from my house and was like, "Oh, I'll get you back." And I'm like, "You don't have a job."
Lloyd's in the crowd, mad as fuck.
Well, no, I didn't know at the time. I got
okay.
home and I was
What
like,
do you need this for, man?
the fucked up part. We got home, or Joe was living with me at the time. We get back and I'm like, Joe said something about wanting to blow a fireball, and I was like, "Well, grab that Everclear out there." And he went, "Oh yeah, about that." I find out later that he had stole the bottle
He
of
had
Everclear
already
I
stolen
had.
it.
Yeah.
Right on.
Cocksucker.
Let's sideline this a little bit. We're gonna go
Sure.
into something else real quick.
What do you wanna do?
This is completely off topic, but Luke has been going on and on about this VR rig that he's got, and I want to get immediately into how Luke is completely losing his fucking life. Or did I say Lloyd? I meant Luke. Luke is losing all of his sense of reality by going into fucking the VR world. Can you talk a little bit about this, Luke?
I don't want to play any consoles anymore.
What did you set this up somewhere? Where did you get this?
I hosted my cousin Clint's bachelor party, and this dude he invited there was talking about because another guy who went brought his Oculus Rift. And he told me he had his Oculus Rift Quest 2, which is the latest model out. He's been trying to get rid of it forever. He's only used it 4 times.
Isn't that like you have to do it on a PC?
You don't have to, but you can.
So it can it can actually like work by itself just as a standalone
I can sit
console.
in my car. I can take it to work.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's amazing.
You hosted a virtual
No, I hosted
bachelor
an
party.
actual bachelor party, and then I got
you were actually
a
there,
headset.
but
We snorted virtual cocaine.
yeah, snort a bunch of virtual cocaine,
was
bang a
dope.
bunch of virtual hookers. Like I can picture it.
I was obsessed. Like the
Lay
first,
it out for me, dude. What was going on here?
I got a VR headset from a friend that I met at an actual bachelor party. That's what happened.
And then continuing on.
So I come back from the wedding
There's
after I
gotta be
actually
better
get it
than
from
that.
him.
Come on.
I get the actual headset from the wedding 2 weeks later, and I like the first night I come back from the wedding, I come here to Lloyd's, and they're watching Bellator and UFC and shit.
You're like, have you ever
Sarah's
seen it
here.
in VR?
No. They asked. It was the same night. There
You
was
can look
all
up
those
the-
You got
Facebook
your virtual
comments
ass
where
kicked.
you guys were like,
You
how
can look up the fighters' shorts and see their balls, actually.
It was the same night in the group chat. Y'all were saying like, how many VR like websites is Luke about to subscribe to? All those porn sites.
Yeah.
I tried porn here for the first time. Sarah put it on. She got sick.
Oh, it's not. It's never good porn. It's never like jerkable porn. It's always like weird. Like I
It
don't know,
was very weird and blurry. It was
Hey,
very.
if you don't
want to
bang your stepmom, that's your problem, buddy.
Oh well, she's dead, so it'd be hard. But I could get the necrophilia thing in. But it's just
We
not.
can make it happen.
Attaboy.
But it's dope, dude. Like last night, I talked about the movie with Mansfield. I watched Shin Godzilla in a virtual movie
How
theater
was it?
by
How
myself.
was it just as a movie, but then with the VR experience? Do you feel like you would have liked it? Because
I would
spoiler
love to
alert,
see
he
it.
loves it. But
Yeah.
like, is it as good as it actually is? As like as a VR experience, you're gonna fucking love it because it's like, holy shit, I'm so immersed. Literally, I can't see anything but the movie. But like, is it that good of a movie? Or do you feel like that's jeopardized the experience?
No, I think it's that good of a movie, and I think the virtual like theater definitely does live up to the expectations of its like trying to give you that movie theater feel, but it will only do that for you if you like legit make like an in-world setting for yourself. You know, like I had a seat, I had 2 fans on, and I had the light on obviously because you have to have light with a VR headset, and I watched the movie like that. And it's cool because you get like control to the lighting in the house of the movie theater. You can like dim it, you can turn it up.
Do you see seats in front of you and stuff
Yeah,
like that?
you can move around seats. You can sit in the back.
Can you
sit
put
in the front
virtual
row
popcorn?
in the corner and look up? Yeah, there's virtual popcorn.
No way. Can you
get
eat it? Can you like grab it and like see it go to
You
your
can
face?
hold it to your face and it makes a fake like crunching noise. But you can get like tomatoes and throw it at the screen.
Look at Lloyd's face, listeners. Anybody on YouTube? Look how like he's like, you could just go to the movie theater. I'm fucking 90 years old. Like I don't get
No,
it.
I have no problem with it. It's just you guys are way more excited about this than I would have.
It's so dope. How are you not
Dude,
more
it's-
excited
no,
about it?
no,
You grew
no,
up in
no.
the generation
Listen.
of people that should have been excited about this because it was like
Listen, he's right. We're both right because I love it and I'm obsessed because I'm playing games like Gorn where I'm in a coliseum and ripping heads off and shit. But at the same time, I understand where Lloyd is from because I'll get super high, put the headset on, and then I'm like, I am 27 years old in my room with a VR headset spinning in circles, waving my arms around. What am I doing?
That part didn't get me. I think he misunderstood what the thing you were getting excited about, the movie theater. I'm like, you have VR. There's a million different things you could do with that, and you guys are getting excited about virtual
there
popcorn.
are, but it's I got excited about being able to watch like Shin Godzilla in the movie
That's
theater.
sad.
But there's other things too, like people can host their own theaters. Like people were streaming Halloween Kills on there a night before it was released. I watched like a good half hour of that
Again,
shit.
It's
that
called
part,
HBO Max, dog.
I'm just saying that part would have been worth talking about. The virtual popcorn was just.
Yeah, sprinkles.
You guys, you're talking about.
Yeah, no, you're right. There's a million better applications. Like there's one I want Cody to try, and I was telling you about it when I brought it over. Like the 3D painting. Mm-hmm. like drawing in the sky.
That's all I was.
Around you,
That
still
was what
art.
that face was. I'm sitting there like, you guys have this whole thing with all these options to talk about. You're
But
talking about playing a game, ripping off
Digital
heads.
popcorn, Lloyd.
I know, but you guys got so
You can
excited
hear.
about
You
digital.
can almost see the butter on it.
Yeah,
I
cool.
have a thing.
I'm just saying, like you guys.
I'm
you
only
guys,
getting excited about it because it's like an added feature that you can do, just because they thought it,
It
out
drops
so
in
much.
that extra level of depth.
So the
I
whole
understand
thing,
that. I'm
the
just
whole
saying that-
thing about this is that they make it immersive.
Yeah.
Right, I understand that. I'm
Do
saying
you
that.
digitally choke on the kernels?
Yes.
That's
you
an
have to-
important part of
You
eating
have to
popcorn.
digitally pull them out of your teeth, like.
I see what you're saying.
No,
but
yeah, you guys, you're like, oh, here's this whole new thing, and instead of like ripping people's heads off in the thing, or the other million, you guys got stuck on digital popcorn in a way that was upsetting to hear.
I'm sorry. I've already been immersed in the world of VR, so I probably should have
can't
set
get
this
out
up
of
better.
it.
I'm only excited about it for those features because it's like they've thought out the entire experience to make the movie theater thing like an immersive thing for somebody that like maybe there's somebody that literally can't go to a movie theater. Like you can't even eat popcorn with your own hands.
Again.
But you have like some other interface to do it. Like that's why it's cool. But like I see what you're saying. I did this thing called King Spray VR. Right, King Spray came out years ago. I'm sure they have a better version.
I was
of it,
gonna
but
get it for you to try
yeah,
out.
it's
I've
amazing.
been
Sean
King
had it.
spraying since '91, bro.
So Sean had it when he had not the Oculus, but the what's the other one? The
Vive.
the Vive or the HTC Vive. He had like the 2 or whatever for a
Yeah.
while, and I would sit in there with his Vive. And like you can, you know, how you set up the little parameters so
Yeah.
you can walk around.
Yeah, the Guardian.
It basically allows you to just be like a graffiti artist and practice it out. And it seemed like, oh, this would be corny. Like it's not going to really feel like real. I've spray painted it. I've been terrible at it. I was terrible at it in this, but without wasting any paint that costed money. It reacted the way that a can would. It gave you the same, like, you would hear the can the same way that you would hear it in real time with the headphones on, and it would react. If you pulled it back, it would make a bigger spray. If you came closer, it would come closer. There would be drip from it. And then I sat on there for 3 straight hours fucking doing this type of shit and, like, making art in VR. And it was one of the most amazing experiences that I ever had, like, making art. Like, maybe I didn't make the best art ever, but it was like, this feels like I'm actually spray painting a wall. I've spray painted walls before. I've been bad at it. And I'm equally bad at it in this, and I feel like I'm getting better at it
I
in
feel
this.
like I'm using the
So it's such a... No, it's just like... VR is such like an immersive experience when they do it right, and I've seen them also do it terribly. I've played games where it's shitty, and I've had experiences in VR where it's like, you're not using this to the fullest of its capabilities. So when I ask them about like popcorn, and it's like, did you think out the entire movie theater experience for somebody that, you know, maybe can't get out to the movie theater? Maybe they only have the VR headset, or like this is their only opportunity to do it. Like, it seems trivial, it seems stupid, and it is, but that little extra shit that makes it feel like a real experience is what made me feel like in that moment I lost myself. I literally lost myself in VR, and I thought I was up on a fucking rooftop. You feel like you're up there. You can look over the sides. Like, maybe you can't walk back then. Now there's the treadmill thing, but you would click and point to get over, but you could look over the side, and you would feel like you were high up.
Right.
And then you walk back to the wall, and by being able to do that well, you immerse yourself in VR. So I get impressed whenever they add features like that. Stuff that's trivial. Doesn't matter.
I understand.
I understand you shitting
as
on it, too.
excited as you guys got about virtual popcorn was just viscerally upsetting to hear.
I know why it's silly. But
Like there's
a
a million
reason
things
I
you could have
asked.
talked about that would have been fine.
We
It was
have
just-
been for 10 minutes.
No,
it
I'm
was 10
saying, but
minutes
you
ago.
guys got so excited over that one part that it didn't read right to my ears.
Well, yeah, like when you're talking about like limitless possibilities.
Which we have been for the last 10 minutes.
Yes. I mean, yeah, it's like, oh, am I going to eat popcorn, or am I going to like jump through a
Oh,
black
we're still
hole?
10 minutes ago. Okay.
Jump through a black hole. I mean, like, you will alter reality as we understand it, and it's like, oh, I'm going to eat
Popcorn.
popcorn instead.
sure.
It was
Yeah.
just it was just a weird thing to hear someone get caught. So all right, we can move on.
I get the silly part of it. I just have to
I just didn't
defend
want
why
you to be
I
like,
said it.
oh, he's 90 years old, he doesn't understand. No, I understand. I like it.
I am also 90, by
the only
way.
reason that I brought up your age, which obviously you're not that much older than us, the only reason I brought it up is because I'm like, to me, I've talked to other people that are like older than you or the same age as you, that I know you're not very video game centric. You kind of are, but like
39.
fucking a lot of people in like your age group grew up with like the foundation of video games. Like I
Right.
grew up with like where the video game age turned into where everything looked real, like for the first time ever, and started to become that. So I feel like I'm in the second generation of like video games becoming
that's when
like
you started playing video games.
Actually, are you gentlemen?
when both of us did. I
mean,
think.
They're about a decade younger than us.
I was say, are you gentlemen familiar with the term geriatric millennial?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The people that
Lloyd
there's
and I
a,
are
it's
both falling into that category.
Sure, and we're also millennials. My point of all this is that like the people that came from even before when we started playing video games is that a lot of those people are like, this VR shit is what I like hoped for when I saw arcades. It was like all that I thought about. Like, there's one day we're gonna have a fucking VR thing, and then everybody like shit on it. Like, there's no way they'll ever be able to feasibly do this in a way that actually seems immersive. And when it gets to that level, which it finally is getting to that level, they have an Omni tread now that isn't shitty. They have an Omni tread that's good that you can actually balance on. That you can. It's expensive for now. It's only.
I actually threw in on a Kickstarter for one for people with wheelchairs because I was actually my friend Brian, who has muscular dystrophy. We were working on getting him like a little more into VR stuff so he can do cool stuff like that. And there's a company that's making ones for people on like automatic wheelchairs and stuff.
Yeah.
So that it's
like
just
full
a thing
avatar kind of thing.
Well, no, like it goes under. You can actually like drive up on the wheelchair up on a little ramp onto this thing where the wheels can go just so the way they're used to moving around. So like I threw in money on the Kickstarter for that thing years ago. So I'm not.
I know you're not
shitting
shitting
VR.
on it. I know you're also not a video game guy, but I just talking to people that come from the. How did you describe it again?
I was saying,
The
Geriatric millennial.
geriatric millennials, as
Bingo.
silly as that term is. Those people constantly tell me about how fucking cool VR is. So when
I mean, we
I know
all-
you're shitting on it for the popcorn thing, and I know that's trivial, but
Well,
I figured you'd be more excited about this than like, even our generation. Would
I
be
am
about this
excited
type of
about it,
shit.
just not for
I'm-
5 minutes of popcorn talk.
I'm going to
That was
keep
like 30
poo-pooing.
seconds, and then 10 more minutes of content went by.
I'm going to
and
keep
your guys'
poo-pooing.
tiny brains were so hooked on the popcorn.
God
I
damn it.
can't hear. There's popcorn in my head. That's all I can think about. I have to remember my social security because I'm old as shit and popcorn. That's all I can remember in my
Yeah, I'm number
in my
2.
brain.
We're good.
What were you gonna say? I'm sorry, Bert.
I'm going to keep poo-pooing technology until the day I see hoverboards.
What?
Back to the Future 2.
It gave us all such a. I'm not
Everybody
saying,
had a technology boner after watching hoverboards in Back to the Future 2.
and
You're
then
making my
lawnmower-
point. You're making
Well,
my
no,
point.
that's what I'm saying. Is we're on board, and then like Lawnmower Man.
I'm sold. Yeah, I'm sold on
Yeah.
these concepts, but
And
I'm
it's finally
so
happening.
thoroughly unimpressed.
Dude, we have
at
we have
this point.
self-driving cars. We've got VR headsets that are not in arcades, not like some $10,000 device that you have to license and fucking you got to get it
All
through
right.
an arcade. No, you could buy it for a couple $100
We get it.
and have it in your house. Like
Everyone listening understands.
God
And I
damn,
can
how
eat
impressive
virtual
is that?
popcorn. Thank you.
So,
That's
but
awesome.
I'm just saying, like that.
This was a bummer
That's on
of
the
a
level.
topic.
All right, so hold on, no.
This is my fault. I'm sorry.
hard change
No,
on
it is
topics.
not.
I want to ask Luke a question.
Let's hear it.
So everyone, just give me a second. Let me ask Luke this question before anyone chimes in. What do you think would happen if someone walked in here as we're recording
And shat on the floor.
and asked us to stop recording so they could take the card and then swap out the card?
What do you mean
for
by the card?
the memory card that goes in the recorder?
Oh, the SD card?
Asked us to stop mid-recording.
The bastard sermon. He means. What would I do?
Okay, shut the. All right, so someone walks in and goes, "Hey, I need you guys to stop recording. Let me get that card. You can put another one and pick it back up in a minute, and then I'll send you those files." How do you think Cody would react to that?
No, Cody would tell him to fuck off. Cody wouldn't let that
Elaborate.
happen.
Elaborate. What else would I would do?
Yeah, you would probably tell them to fuck off. You'd shove them off if they try to touch the H6. You'd probably fight them.
What
How
if they were
many
real
knives-
pressy about it? What if they were like, I have to have this, like it's real important to me, and even if I did it, how would I react? After they did it and after they left, how would I react?
You'd be mad as fuck.
Also, let
What
me
would
add
I
in.
say? What
You
would
would
be
talk
my?
so much shit about them.
Let me add in if we were about 10 minutes from finishing, and then he insisted that at that particular moment it had to stop for that.
There's no way he wouldn't let that happen if we were 10 minutes from finishing. He wouldn't let that happen.
Lloyd, tell him why you're bringing it up.
me and Alex were recording an episode of Fuck You, We Like The Bengals.
Yeah, and you guys folded to his demands like pussies.
No, he just kept talking while we...
Oh, you faggots.
No, I'm just kidding.
He was talking while we were recording.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And then in the middle of one of Alex's jokes, Cody goes, "Hey, man, hold on." Off mic. "Hey, man, hold on." And Alex just looks up like, "What?" And he's like, "Hey, can I take that car? I got somebody waiting. I got a ride, but I'll send you the files." And I'm like, "Hey, man, we're like 10 minutes from done." He's like, I got to go right now. Can I just swap out this card for that car?" All right, just imagine. Let's just take a step back. Just someone being here and talking off mic, Cody would have a fucking aneurysm.
Yeah.
Someone talking off mic and then interrupting mid-joke. I mean, literally, Alex was in the middle of saying something that had like a punchline finish to it. And Cody's like, "Hey, man, hold on. I got a ride waiting for me." About off mic, again.
Yeah.
"I got a ride waiting for me, so I really got to go right now. Can I take that card out of there and put the other card in? And then I'll edit out this part where I'm talking right now, and I'll send you the files for it, blah, blah, blah." And Alex, before I can say anything, Alex goes, "Yeah, it's all right." And I'm like,
Son of a bitch.
all right. I for sure, in that moment, I was like, I'm going to have to explain this to Luke. Because I want you to realize, like, that happened.
I'd be pretty mad if I were you, too.
I wasn't mad. It was fine.
Frustrated?
No, it was
Don't
more,
even lie. Don't
No,
say
honestly,
you weren't frustrated.
It was fine. It was more just, before I got a chance to give him shit, Alex was like, "Yeah, it's fine." I'm like, one, I just wanted to completely like rip him apart and shut it down, but Alex already said okay, so I just held it in and let it go. It didn't really bother me that much. The part that bothered me was him like
He
saying,
didn't have enough balls to do what he said just now that he could do. But
All right.
Flying kick to the face.
I feel like that's the perfect time for Bert to come through the camera and hit me with his Doc Martens right in the
I was gonna say, I think if I ask him nicely enough, he'll probably do that for me right now. You know,
Please
I mean,
no.
Smile and a wink goes a long way, Lloyd.
so yeah, no, I just wanted to pose that to you and imagine that happening in this scenario. How much of a breakdown, a meltdown, Cody would have. He would
red
be
in the face.
He would be a 5-year-old that opened a broken Christmas present.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Depending on who is asking, I'd probably be the same fucking way. Like, if it was just some Randy, I'd be like, "Who are you? Like,
Right.
Get out of here."
I don't let myself get mad about things like this anymore because when I get mad, I get way too mad. So I've
Let's escalate
tamped that down.
I want to be on your team when that happens sometime.
Can I make a
I'm
point
sure it
for
will.
your side?
Yeah.
Not for myself. You're absolutely correct. I would have freaked out, and
Let's hear the defendant.
you're completely correct to fucking like shit on me. And thank you so much to you, and not only you, but Alex Schubert for being so fucking understanding about the situation that I was in, because you were 100,000,000% correct. If Luke, who is one of my closest friends on this earth, would have done this to me, I would, for the next 3 months, keep talking shit behind his back and to his face, and in backhanded Facebook posts shitting on him about this moment. He would never hear the goddamn end of it, and I guarantee, I almost guarantee, if you guys want to shit on me for the rest of forever on this level about it, you can, and I know nothing that I'm going to say is ever going to stop you from doing it, but I don't think that you guys will ever take it to that level that I would take it to.
I just met you, but I'm going to back pocket that one. For sure.
Do you really
They
think I
won't-
would? Both of you think on your history with me. Have I ever done anything that petty or spiteful, being that mad at either of you?
The only thing that you've ever done petty or spitefully is like shut down a podcast because you got upset about something
shut
that we
it down?
said in the middle of a podcast. You didn't shut it down, but like you'll shut yourself down.
Oh,
It's
yeah, I'll
years ago.
definitely shut myself down in the earlier
It's been a
episodes.
long
Yeah, I shut
time.
the
It's
fuck
been a
down for
long
sure.
time, but like even that was a one-off, and then you came on the next episode with new attitude. Like literally, if this would have happened to me, this would have been 3 weeks of me talking shit. I would have brought it up. It would have been Lloyd spitting in somebody's mouth. I looked that episode up recently, 8 weeks ago. 8 fucking weeks ago. We never stopped talking about it. This will probably be the last that anybody ever hears of me doing this.
Yeah.
Until
And
Schubert's
that's just that's a testament to what good of people you human beings are, and what a piece of dog shit that I am. And I have I have a defense, and I'd love to use it, But fuck that shit. Keep ripping into me. Please go ahead.
And again,
Just
yeah.
wait till you get spit in your mouth, and then then we got a good fight going.
I say he tempted me one episode. He was like, "You wouldn't spit in my mouth," and I'm like,
Bet.
Open.
It was that spit in the mouth episode. And then when I realized he would do it, I was like, and then I was like, Jim Norton said it. Like, you can't be the intern that's getting the weird shit done to you if you're gonna be the host. I already had the guy smack me in the face, which I thought was fun. Then looking back, it was like, you just look like a bitch on that episode.
Yeah.
It wasn't as fun as I remember. I was like, if I do this, it's going to be fun. And I can't beat the guy up because I told him I could do it. But then looking back on it, it was like, it wasn't fun. It didn't contribute anything, and I look like a bitch. So if I let Lloyd spit in my mouth, it's going to be more of this bitch stuff. So, yeah. Continuing on, though. I'm sorry, continue.
no, I just wanted to pose that to Luke just to give him an idea of how ridiculous of a situation that was, where I'm like, again, I didn't get mad. I was like, oh, yeah, we'll fix it. It's fine. It's not a big deal. Yeah. Like, I can't let myself get mad over things like that anymore. I can't.
Yeah.
Stop being so reasonable. I would...
Shut the fuck up, Flat Bill. God damn. Every time I try to make a fucking point, fucking...
Words.
Jesus.
I would never get mad if anybody interrupted my podcast.
I've told you plenty of times I don't like being interrupted when I'm speaking, but you keep doing that, and it's going to go wrong. I'm just so we're all aware, like, there will be a point where that goes the wrong way.
I'm imagining it right now. Like, we're just setting up, and then you just cut him off, and I'm like turned around, and I just hear some rustling, and
He's
like shuffled from one side of the table to the other, just choking.
He's chucked domino pieces at my head 3 times.
Yeah.
I don't let anybody get away with shit like that, and I'm not scared of you, Lloyd, but I'm just like, I get it. I deserve it, so I'm ducking
But
pieces.
you are in some level of reality understanding that
He would.
one day this is going to end with
you merciless.
one of these days it's going to end with that liver shot, I promise you. And
Yeah, but I'm not ever going to be disingenuous to myself and stop being
no.
myself because I'm fucking scared of you.
again, no one's asking
Yeah,
for
I get
that.
it. You'll beat my ass. It's fine. I'm still going to be myself.
Again, no one's asking for that. I'm just saying. I'm just.
He's just giving you the
Yeah,
warning.
this is just like
I
it's not a
appreciate it.
threat. It's just an understanding of things that will happen someday.
Dog, you know I understand. It's
Yeah.
fine. We're doing this for the listeners right now.
Yeah. Cody asked me to
I
hit
love
him the
this.
other night,
What? Why'd you ask him to hit you?
I do it when I'm drunk.
Oh, I feel it.
and I went, "How about I just teach you how to punch instead?"
You want to show off a bruise?
Well, I don't want to pull my asshole out because we'll get taken off YouTube. But
Fair
it's there.
enough.
A mushroom-sized bruise on my asshole.
HBO Max, baby.
Speaking of people who show off bruises, Cody's been having a nice fun back and forth with my mom.
Ooh, yeah. I'm sorry. Do you want to? I want to get into this, but do you want to eviscerate me some more? Because I feel like I deserve some evisceration on this.
No, we're on good vibes today, man. I don't have any hate.
I love you so much. And also, we'll get into your mom thing, but you are a 10 million% accurate on this. Like, I didn't want to burn it before the podcast, but for once, I know I interrupted you a little bit.
So how hot is Lloyd's mom? I don't even know. I haven't met her.
Well, the goiter. Let's start with the goiter.
Oh, baby. Now we're talking.
I'm just kidding. She has no goiter.
He lived in New Orleans for a while. That's like extra cost.
That's like
on there.
the birthplace of goiters.
So to set this up, Lloyd has the most. I mean, Bert, you know him. Yeah, have you met his family or his friends outside of you? Is this like a one-off, or do you have an interconnectivity with his friend group and family?
Well, we had one very close friend, and that was Joe, and that was
Outside of that,
was
though.
our biggest tie-in.
Yeah.
Outside of that.
But that Joe
Much,
person,
actually.
if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, super supportive. So outside of his crazy whatever behavior and shit that he did, still everybody that hangs out with Lloyd, the most like down supportive fucking people, even his family, right?
Absolutely.
Would you say
No,
that's a fair
absolutely.
point?
It's a weird topic, but
I'm getting somewhere with this.
yeah.
That's-
Like I feel like Lloyd can make the same. God damn it, words.
parallels.
Yes. Parallels with Lloyd. Or, God damn it, Joe. That
Can we get this man a drink?
Well, yeah.
and yeah, Joe, like as a friend, was like the most loyal like that guy would have fucking killed someone.
He would
for
jump
me.
kick
Like,
someone in a bar for you.
Sure.
Yeah, he would jump kick someone in a bar.
Great example. The
So-
reason to bring that up is because it seems like everybody in Lloyd's life is like that about him, including his own mother. Like, my mom, as much as she has always had my back, always been on my side, always fucking whatever, never tried to support the podcast because I told her, like, you don't want to listen to this.
I'm a podcast host and I have supportive parents. Ugh. I'm just kidding. Keep going.
No, against Lloyd's will, it seems like. He doesn't mind the support of Vita. I'm sure. Am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah.
Vita. He doesn't mind it, but he's not begging for it. He doesn't care that
No,
it
I've
exists.
never
He's-
like asked anyone in my family, hey, check out my podcast
They
and
just-
like sign up. But everyone just
Supportive,
I think they
good
just want to
family.
hear
All of
whatever
this-
dumb shit
Cool,
I'm
and they
saying.
love you.
all
and
this to
that.
get to, I post a Tiff Coleman episode, and then fucking Lloyd shares it, and the first comment is Lloyd's mom, who has subscribed to our Patreon, and not only just to support her boy subscribed, she starts commenting with information that's not 4 minutes into the podcast, it's not 20 minutes into the podcast. She is talking about stuff that has only been discussed on the Jerome Patreon, and talking about stuff that has existed in the Tiff. So it's like, you're not just listening. You're not just listening to 4 minutes and shutting it off to support your boy. You're not just giving $5. You're listening to the whole thing, and you have input about stuff that you've paid money. Like, it's fucking bizarre to me. So what she had to say was, look up what you guys are talking about, which in the Tiff Coleman episode, we were talking about the Lamb book or whatever,
Yeah.
and the books of the Bible. So she was like, Jubilee is the book that was removed of Jesus' early years, which Vita, by the way, I've looked it up. That's not what the book of Jubilee, at least according to Google, is, but I'm sure that you have some other documentation that you're going to
Yeah.
talk about in a
I'm
Facebook
unfamiliar
comment
on
to
that
me
one, yeah.
later. But the other one was like, the very next comment without any reply was, and the thing that my son's friend Jerome was talking about, or sorry, Romy, whatever, I'll cut it out. But Romy was talking about is a power dynamic couple. And she also threw out, by the way, the first time, or not the first time, but when me and Lloyd's father got married, his father was on acid. She threw all of that in, like all of it, like just a big giant, like just of information on a fucking Facebook
That's a
comment
love
feed.
story I can get behind. That's fucking awesome. I love it.
Well, it continues
in the
on.
episode, I was like air quoting, like, oh, this is just for comedy, but I was tripping balls here, and my mom was like, she sent me a message like, why would you think I would care about that? Because I said, now that my mom listens, I have to. Yeah, which
maybe fake it.
yeah, and
That's
not,
all
and
they-
in all reality, I
It's
know
more for the listeners than
Yeah.
it is for your mom.
Yeah, my mom doesn't. She understands. Like she's lived she was a wild person in her day and time. Like there's a picture behind me.
Oh, is she done?
Yeah, well, I mean, she makes like weed cookies and weed butter and shit all
My
the time.
mom's
now.
72, and I just tripped with her. Like a month ago.
I've talked about tripping with my mom and her husband, but I guess he had a reaction to something. So we'll revisit that at some point. Yeah, I think she's like 66. I'm sorry, I don't remember.
Here's how the
exactly.
comments went. Vita Albert. It should be
what we
mentioned that Lloyd's dad was doing acid the day that we got married. So I reply, hold on. It's for sure being mentioned when we record on Tuesday. Thanks for the topic. I thought that would either be the end of it or I'd get like some like, yeah, no problem response. Nope. Keeps going. The very next one was the dynamic that my son's friend Romy was talking about is actually called a power exchange relationship. You can Google it. If you guys are familiar with the Romy Patreon, he's talking about getting raped and spit on and fucking getting called the N-word to his face and all this crazy shit. So that's what she's saying. And I said jokingly, I was like, I don't want the FBI at my house, otherwise I would. Again, thought it'd be the end of it. Don't understand the reference. I'm old, remember? And I was like trying to figure out a clever way to explain the FBI, but nothing's coming to me. So she now is continuing it on. Google powered exchange relationship. The FBI won't be interested, I assure you. I was like, if it means I gotta see pictures of what Jerome was explaining to us, I'm quite all right, but thank you. She was like, it's not like that. And I was like, how could it be anything other than that? I got to sleep tonight, Vita. Good Lord, lady. All of my responses, I thought it would be the end of it. Nope, keeps going. And then she was like, whatever do you mean? I'm a boomer grandmother. How could I possibly know what I'm talking about? Sleep well, Sweet Pete. The most sarcastic, like normally it's the hardest thing to read is sarcasm on the internet. The most sarcastic, like Lloyd.
The snark
like,
existed.
It's literally like it's like, how could it be more Lloyd in a mother it was like the only time I can read sarcasm is Lloyd and now his mom. So then I was like, I'm a millennial snowflake and I don't want to see grown men peeing on each other. And then she's like, it's not just men. It's not just pee. It's not about sex. LOL, you'll be okay, I promise. So at that
she's
point,
just trying to give you the overview. Like, Romy
I
took
know
it to
the overview, but
I'm just saying, Romy took it to a
sorry,
far
guys.
point.
One sec, real quick. Can I get a big round of applause for Lloyd's mom?
fuck yeah.
Love you, mama.
You're awesome. We love you.
I love you too.
I've not met you, but you sound great.
Yeah,
I'm only feigning being scared of it because I thought it would be funny,
him
but
on.
can't fucking scare Lloyd's mom. There's
No.
no like
Yeah,
being funny about fucking with somebody's mom with this. I thought it'd be funny in the chat, and you're like, nope. If you open the box, you got to play with the contents. And I was like,
and
that's
this
what I'm
is
scared of.
absolute compliment. Bad bitch.
for
Yeah,
sure.
dude.
She anyone who knows my mom knows. One, she's smarter than any of us in a way that's just almost upsetting. Like anything she does like fucking super well. She can cook shit that I've eaten at like high-end restaurants that aren't as good as the shit
Can't
she
hang
makes
with
just
her,
like
yeah.
dinner. Like just her like, oh, this is dinner. It was what I had in the fridge, and it's she can sew shit that baffles people I know that are like seamstress for a living.
Yeah.
She started when she retired and started. Her and her husband smoke a lot of pot now, and she started making edibles. Where I took some to that group of people I go camping with, and I gave one to a girl who's high 24/7, and she's like, "This might be one of the best weed cookies I've ever had in my life." She's like, "How the fuck does she do this?" And I was like, I don't know. I don't know.
It's hilarious.
That's great.
I only had intrepidation about it because I'm just like, as much as I feel like I know Lloyd, I'm like, I don't know if the mom thing would cross another line, so I don't want to take it another level deeper. Also, I don't want Vita thinking that I want to fuck at any point, so I'm just
Again,
like,
I told you, if she decides you two are gonna,
For the record, I might be interested.
I say, if she decides you two are gonna fuck, it's up to her. She can make that happen. She will use you as a toy.
she's such an example of what we've talked about a bunch of times, where you're like, I can't even fucking talk to a lot of people because it's like, yeah, I have a normal conversation with people, but then they're like, and then this, and then you're gonna be scared about this, and like, and then, or you'll say something like I'll say to people where I'm just like, yeah, this is just a normal thing, and they'll laugh uncomfortably,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'm glad that you appreciate that it's funny, but also this is a real thing that I'm talking to you about, and then they're like, oh, and they lock up and they can't talk about it, and they almost want to get away from you, and I'm like, I can't be around people like that, and you're like, talking to Lloyd specifically, you're like, I can't be around people like that, and that comes from your mom, 1,000,000%. I don't know your dad.
My
but
dad was just as bad. Like our conversations at sometimes like almost get to a point where it seems like we're trying to find a line to see if we still have one, and then it gets uncomfortable when we get so
and your
far
father?
out. Huh?
You and your father?
My father's dead.
Okay.
But
Wait, who?
my mom,
Okay,
or
got it,
even
got it,
when my
got
dad was alive, like it would get to the point where you're almost trying to find if you still have a line that's going to bother you. And then it just kind of peters out in some uncomfortable level where we're like, all right, I think we've gone far enough, and neither of us have
love that.
batted an eyelash at all. So let's just stop here before we get somewhere real fucked up. That was normal conversations with my parents.
And just to be clear, Vita, I know you're listening now. I wasn't uncomfortable, but it's to me,
fun
for
to play
whatever
that.
reason, it's funnier to play that part, at least online, through messages or like through a public comment section that I was uncomfortable. But literally, nothing that you're going to say to me is ever going to be like, whoa, I'm scared now. But to play it up and do something is just a fucking...
That
but,
sounds like a challenge, Vita.
But since she took it so far, because you can only take somebody's word so far, like Lloyd's telling me, like, no, you could literally push it as far as you want. She's never going to have that line. So when I actually have that genuine interaction, I'm like, oh, he's right. He's 1,000,000% right. I had no reason to not believe that, but like it was fucking on
You're gonna
point.
try to smash.
Right,
I
so-
think I have no other choice at this point.
You're going to death by snooze now?
You know that would be a dynamic on the show. That would just be so weird. It's like, yeah,
I'm cucking Lloyd's
you fucked
stepdad.
my mom.
If I may, I do kind of want.
Nope. Sorry.
Hey, Bert, really, you never have to listen to a no from someone in a fucking flat bill hat. This is a man who has kids.
I'm going to talk to you for a minute.
Please
That
no,
doesn't count over there.
He still wears a battle vest.
please no sideways Liu Kang kicks like you
No,
just tap me in as your Mortal Kombat character.
I fucking love Luke.
Don't you challenge that.
Yeah, I was saying.
All right. I would like to brag up my own mother for a minute.
I've heard stories,
your mom
and she
cool
sounds
too?
pretty
My
fucking awesome.
mom is the fucking shit. So
Is this just a make Luke feel bad party? Sorry.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Your
just kidding.
mom
Your mom's
sucks,
awesome.
Luke. Dude, I want cool parents.
I still think Luke wants to fight his dad.
I do. It'd be pretty dope.
I'll fight Luke's dad.
You could
Let's
just fight him.
talk
You
after
live
the
with
show.
him. Beat his ass.
I got weight on you, bro.
Keep going, though. Your mom's dope.
So yeah, I just spent the last, well, not the last, but I just spent 2 months in Ireland with my mother.
Hell yeah.
Your mom's Irish?
Where at?
Awesome. Yeah,
Sigafoos?
Donegal. So
You speak
her
Gaelic?
familiar name was O'Connor.
Yeah.
Her grandmother was Annie O'Connor.
Do you speak Gaelic? I'm sorry.
I don't.
Keep going.
It's real. It's one of those weird languages where there's a lot of superfluous letters.
It's as hard as Arabic, it seems like.
Well, like it's an English, God. All right. So
An old
the
English offshoot.
The words look English, but they're, like I said, a lot of superfluous letters and a lot of ways you pronounce things that don't make sense, like to English speakers.
Yeah, there's a
Anywho.
yeah. Anyway, yeah. Finish with your mom thing, and we'll.
Anywho, so yeah, I spent 2 months with my mother, and honestly, over COVID, I was a bit concerned for her. She lives alone. She has great neighbors, which helped out a ton. But yeah,
they all live in castles, and they have to
actually one
They
of
have to
them,
fight trolls
one of
with
them
swords
Does. One of them does.
that are made out of light.
His name is Lord Jeffrey. He lives up the hill.
King Jeffrey.
No one can be scared of a Jeffrey.
Yeah,
What about a Joffrey?
he ain't shit actually. So
Sorry, Game of Thrones reference. Keep going.
We got it.
oh, I'm not that big of a nerd. Sorry, but
He has
yeah,
sex with women.
Yeah,
Oh, because I have sex with men, it's different. Keep
Oh
going.
no. I just meant he does it like regularly,
All right.
and he usually doesn't have to pay for
The
it.
warts on my dick prevent me. Okay, getting too deep.
okay. Anywho, so yeah, I spent 2 months with mom over the summer, and like I honestly I was a little concerned over COVID, that just her mental state. Like I was worried about her. You know, she's living alone. That's a lot of time to spend by yourself. And as soon as I was able to travel to Europe, I did. I got over there and moved in with mom for a couple months.
Is this going to go X videos in a minute?
You wish.
I do.
I can turn it into that if you want.
No. I'm only trying to insert humor. Keep going. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. All right. Sorry. I'm very sorry. Yeah, so I went to go live with mom. I was actually concerned about her mental and physical state. I get over there and she is fucking like
Thriving.
way better than I'm doing. like her brain is like positive. We would go out on walk. Like she has a dog. We'd go out and walk the dog on beaches for miles. She lives in the countryside, and there's like little cattle gates. She's jumping over them like a fucking 12-year-old kid. Like, holy shit!
Did it fuck up your mental health to see your mom doing that? Like, I'm gonna come over here
No,
and help mom
it
out. And then
absolutely-
you see how good she's doing. You're just like, oh fuck,
Maybe I'm the
my
one.
life is
I'm
fucked.
the one that sucks.
Yeah,
I needed my mommy. I think.
yeah, you went over there to support her, and it turns out that you just needed her support to.
Oops. Yeah. I don't know.
No, that's,
But wait, there was one other piece of this.
After this other piece, we're gonna wrap up and go to the Patreon.
That's fine.
how cool your mom is, tripping with your mom.
Tripping with mom. So yeah, over the stay, 2 months, about a month and a half in, about a month in, I told my mom, I was like, you know what? Like I've gotten very much into doing hallucinogens, and I feel like they expand every sense of your reality, your mind. And she's like, oh, I've actually done some. I'm like, okay, cool. So I talked to the neighbor who can find those types of things. He came down with 80 mushrooms.
God damn.
So if you're Irish and listening to this, you kind of know what I'm talking about. What he just responded to was 80 American mushrooms. These are very tiny.
Okay.
But yeah, so we each ate 40, and I did encounter another guy who had mushrooms from Amsterdam. And so we each had our 40.
And he had a top hat on with a card in his head. He was talking about tea time a lot.
Yeah, he was late for something. God knows what. But yeah, so we both went through this very cathartic experience of tripping, and she felt like she was in surgery, like anesthesia kind of state.
I kind of get that. When you come out of anesthesia, it's a fucking, you're almost tripping balls. Like that's,
Yeah,
I've had surgery a
exactly,
couple
yeah.
times. I'm sure you have. Like it's a fucking bizarre experience. Like coming back into
She was
reality.
very-
Like it's,
But yeah, she was very lost, and what I did, I made sure to light a fire in the fireplace, and gently wake her, and we came back to the living room where the fire was. I was like, "Mom, it's time to re-enter," and just spewed philosophical ideas at each other, and it was one of the most beautiful scenarios I've ever had with any human being. Let alone it's my fucking mother, and that's the woman that created me. And again, very existential thought.
it's a beautiful thing though. Have you ever seen the? Are you familiar with Duncan Trussell, the comedian at all?
Oh, absolutely, I love
So,
Dr.
Did you see Midnight Gospel? So
absolutely,
you
yes.
saw the
Such
very
a
last
good
episode.
show.
The last episode made me
Beautiful
cry
show.
my fucking eyes out because it was a.
The one with his mother?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he
Oh,
was just
absolutely.
recording
Dude.
podcasts. I'm sure a little bit of it was scripted between like Dr. Drew and the guy that got accused, the Memphis 3 guy. I forget his fucking name. I always
Oh my
get,
God, I don't even
always
remember
get
that part,
Told
but
that
yeah.
I look like him. He was talking about magic the whole time.
You're
But
definitely the
Damien
Memphis
Eccles.
3, by the
Damien
way.
Eccles. But yeah, but all those were just basically podcasts, and they inserted a couple things that made sense for the animation. But they basically just edited
Right.
an animation around that. The last episode was a very genuine conversation about
Beautiful.
death
Yeah.
with his mother and his
Yes.
mother's cancer experience and coming to terms with her dying and like everything that you're saying basically, and to have those moments with those
This is
people.
exactly what I'm talking about. Yes.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing that a lot of people never get, unfortunately, because as much as like, I don't know, like I've encountered people that have like quote unquote shitty parents, and no matter how shitty their parents are, unless you're completely disconnected from reality 1,000,000%, and you just don't feel love on any level at all, you always love your parents. My mom told that to me one time. It was like, no matter how shitty your parents are, you always love your parents, unless your parents are absolute pieces of dog shit. Like on some
I've known
level,
a few of
you'll
those.
love
They're
them,
terrible.
but you'll never like maybe get close to them. You'll never have a real experience with them. But at the end of the day, if somebody was attacking them, you defend them, even if they're pieces of shit. I see Luke looking, and to each their own. Everybody's experience is different. But I think at the end of the day, if somebody was doing something bad to your parents, you do that. But a lot of people don't get to have what you had, what Duncan Trussell was talking about. Even the
Beautiful
stuff with
experience
Lloyd, like
with those parents,
you might
yeah.
discount
Like,
this stuff
good,
on
loving parents. Yeah, you're right.
and with stuff with my mom. And maybe I've never did like a psychedelic experience, but me and my mom bonded recently on a similar level over alcohol, because like I can get to points where I do like fucked up shit, and this was when I was doing sober stints, and my mom drinks maybe once
were
or
doing
twice
what?
a year. I did a sober stint for 70 days where I was sober off
Stint.
everything.
Okay, gotcha.
And my mom had hit me up and was like, is there any way you can call this bar and ask them if I have my keys? She won't like that I'm talking about this. Luckily, she doesn't listen. This is a one-off, but she had a fucked up night where she drank too much.
Lloyd's mom, cover your ears.
Well, no, my mom called me and was just like going on about like how she had this like really like horrible experience, and she was just describing everything that I go through the morning after doing something stupid. And I had to call this bar and ask them because she was too embarrassed to, and they were telling me how she was acting, and I was like, huh, this is all the stories that I hear about myself. And the stories that she was telling, like she was like telling stories that weren't necessarily like lies, but like fucking going on about something and like hyping it up, and I was like,
Her
huh,
own
I
version,
do shit like that. And I asked my mom about this, and I was like, I'm not trying to. She's hungover in that moment, and she's just like, you know that moment when you're trying to describe something drunk, and you know you've got it figured out, and you're trying to tell it to somebody else, and like you're not trying to lie, but like the only way that you can get there in that drunken moment is to like So she was doing shit like that with like my brother's car accident, where she had accidentally said that my brother had died. He didn't, but somebody else did, and like it was the only way to like get the gravity of the situation. And she's just like, I'm so fucking embarrassed, and she's going on about this embarrassment. And I was like, hey, every time that I fucking get way blackout drunk, even if I don't do anything, my friends have inside jokes amongst themselves and to my face about like messages that I send to people about like, I'm sorry. And she's like, is this how you felt like all the time, constantly? I was like, yeah, 3 times a week minimum. I'd wake up with this same sense of shame and embarrassment. It's not the same connectivity that you get doing psychedelics with your parent, but man, I had that same exact like bonding moment of like, we're on the exact same page. We're on a vulnerability level that most people aren't ever going to get to, and it really helped me understand my mother better, and it helped her understand me better, and like
That's beautiful,
it's a
man.
bonding experience that most people will not get, and I absolutely see what you're talking about. I think it is beautiful.
I'm glad that took a beautiful turn, because when you said me and my mom were bonding over alcohol earlier, I was just really sad for you. I was
No.
like, man,
Lay off
that's
the
a-
point.
We were bonding
Luke.
over how bad alcohol is sometimes.
like just you and your mom, just like, man, I can't do anything without it.
So I think the upshot
Like, I
of this,
know what the fuck you're talking about, brother. I need the bottle.
That'd have been a way better podcast thing. I'm sure nobody wants to hear this sappy conversation about our moms and how much we love them. That'd have been way better if I could have just curtailed it into fucking, me and my mom are brown bottle plastic jug alcoholics that just fucking can't deal with reality unless we're sucking down fucking the BTS Brown from fucking what's the Paul Newman movie?
they're already picking out like which bridge they're gonna live under later.
That one looks nice. That
All
one
right,
looks
so
soft.
I think the upshot of all this is, Mom, me and you need to do a bunch of hallucinogens and then break into Luke's house and be uninvited therapists for
Pin
him
him
and his
down and
parents.
jerk him off.
There it is. Well, okay, more.
I mean, that's
There's
a
no
nor-
saving.
More talks, more therapy, more fucking retarded shit, more laughing after this. This episode, and if you want to, before I do this, if you want to listen to the bonus content, not just for this episode, for the Stiz the Crack one, the Romy episode, the Tiff Coleman one, just to name the last couple, they're all fucking bangers, dude. Like, the free ones are up. You can listen to them. You'll enjoy yourself just listening to the free ones. If you imagine that all of those are twice as good. I'm not fucking selling you clickbait here.
Not at all.
They're fucking phenomenal, and that's me saying it. And I have to listen to it every week and hate myself and hate every second of us talking, and I still genuinely feel like we put out good content every week that you'll enjoy. So if you want to check that out, if you believe me, if you enjoyed this conversation or any of the conversations that we've had, go to patreon.com/thebastardsermon. It's $5, but you get our entire back catalog. If you just want to pay $5 one time and download fucking everything, just cancel your subscription, cool. Or if you just want tastes of it, dude, I'm happy to send you just free Patreon episodes just to give you a taste. Like, is the Romy episode really that good? I'll send you a
good.
free taster. If you want to hear the Stizza Crack episode, you're like, Stizza wouldn't be into selling his shit like that. I will send it. I just sent it to some random stranger on the internet that was like, I don't have the money to pay for it. Here's the Stizza Crack episode, and I'll gladly do that for you. If you like it and you never subscribe, that's fine. But if you do like it and you do have the extra
Put a
pocket
ring on it.
change, put a little money into it. Help us. We're going to fucking put that back into merch soon. I love you guys. Thank you all for supporting me. That's the end of my soapbox. This episode, as all episodes, is sponsored by the amazing, the talented, the incredible, and the long dick wizard, Anthony Tank Mansfield. He puts out the Kneel to No One brand, which is glassware, enamel pins, custom art, and dope-ass fucking t-shirts. Go to kneeltonoone.com or his Instagram handle at kneeltonoone to go check his shit out. He does the What You Into podcast. We've all done it. We've all had a good time done it. I fucked it up
Close
right
enough.
at the end. I was nailing it all the way until then. Lloyd, I'm sure, will be there at some point talking UFC with everybody. But it's a phenomenal podcast about hobbies, collections, and just like shit that people are into. I think that you'd enjoy it. And he's done a couple live episodes recently that you should check out. He engages the audience. And if you ever get a chance to go and see it live, you absolutely should. Luke, take it away.
We're also sponsored by Scarlet Vape and Smoke Shop. I know you guys like to smoke some weed like I do, or, I mean, Delta 8, Delta 10, you know?
Delta 25.
Delta 25, 30 even.
Why not?
Let's just dial it up a notch.
Let's go.
Or maybe you guys fuck around with some Kratom, you know? Maybe it helps you sleep. Either way, you guys need to head on over to Scarlet Vape and Smoke Shop to get your smoking equipment, dude. They've got a hand-blown bubbler by Mike Fro. I don't know if you guys know who Mike Fro is, but he doesn't fuck around with glass blowing. He's a pro. It's a huge piece. It looks really nice. They're going to sell out of it fast. They've got some Grab Labs Fritz spoons, some nice bowls in stock for $40. They've got a Mav AFM straight tube. It's 18 inches tall. It's real nice. It rips real clean for a great price. They don't mess around at Scarlet Vape and Smoke Shops. It's affordable prices for quality gear. Just head on up there, let them know you're a bastard, and you get 15% off your order. And you can find them at one of two locations, 937 Monmouth Street, Newport, Kentucky, 41071. Or you can find them at 11424 Montgomery Road, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45249. Give them your business.
Former host of the Bastard Sermon, Patrick Seda, also runs the Dark Mountain Colt brand. If you want to go and check his shit out, it's Dark Mountain Colt at Instagram. He's got a fuckload of followers. We don't... he doesn't pay us to say it. I just love Pat. I appreciate everything that he's done for this podcast, building us up, connecting us to a million fucking people, and still continuously supporting us. He'll be back on the show sometime in November, so look out for that. And go and support his artwork. He's super prolific. I'm trying currently to make art a side living for me, some way of making side income. And it's incredibly hard. It's hard to put out art consistently. It's hard to put out quality pieces. And I'm telling you, I have no stake in telling you this. He not only puts out pieces consistently on a maybe 2, sometimes 3 time a week basis, but it's also genuinely quality art. That people have had it tattooed on them. People get it on T-shirts. I've bought T-shirts that have had his artwork on it. And he just puts out really good shit. If you need something from him, hit him up. Go and just check it out. If you just want some eye candy to scroll through on your Instagram feed, Dark Mountain Colt. Fucking love you, Patrick Seda. Thanks for everything that you did for the podcast, and thanks for that. And as always...
Check out Fuck You, We Like The Bengals. Friend of the pod, Alex Schubert, and I do a weekly podcast during the football season where we write roast jokes about whatever team the Bengals are playing. Past few episodes have been a lot more fun, and...
how good are the Bengals doing this season?
Dude,
oh my God.
Dude, killing it.
Crushing it, dude.
The game Sunday, I go over to my grandfather's house to watch the games, like just to be able to spend time with him and whatever. And I was sitting there so excited watching the Bengals just pick the Ravens apart, which was supposed to be a game we're supposed to lose. Like all the betting odds were against us, blah, 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 blah. And they were
up like 25 points.
Yeah, it was like 44 to... Or 40, 41 to, I don't remember what. Yeah, it was ridiculous. But yeah, check out Fuck You, We Like The Bengals. Blake Hammond he has his show coming up that I think is sold out.
Sold out for all of them. Just congratulations to that guy.
But shout out to him. Jeremy Johnson's doing a Thanksgiving weekend at Chameleon.
Let's not talk about that yet.
Well, no, I wasn't going into anything. I'm just saying, like, friend of the pod.
He's got something in the works. Look out for it.
And they have a podcast together called Just the Clips that I was what I was getting to.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I actually just listened to their most recent Just the Clip episode because I know that Blake's been doing shit, Jeremy's been doing shit. They might not have had time to do stuff, so they actually released a COVID special of stuff that they were talking about during COVID, something that was unreleased. Fucking hilarious. Like, maybe they don't want me blowing the punch on this, but there's a story in there about Blake justifiably in 2008 when this was acceptable, when it was a as Blake put it, a simpler time. He called Jared Leto a faggot because he was outside of a theater, like talking, like just getting prepared or whatever, and somebody
don't kill it. That's fine.
He was within abs, and they riff on this for a minute. Hilarious.
Just check out Just the Clips.
It's so good. I'm just telling you, as a teaser to listen to that podcast, there's something there. Not to say that like somebody dropping F-bombs is a reason to listen to a podcast, but man, if that's not a good setup.
But also
hilarious story.
Rand Barnclow's been posting more stuff with Rumble Lips. Follow him on Instagram. Check out his podcast. Andrew Rudick just had a album.
Go and just give it a review. Even if you don't listen, just go give it a review.
It's really fucking good.
Listen, please.
It really is. It's actually really good. It's way better. It sounds shitty to say, better than I expected it to be. And I love Andrew to death. It impressed me top to bottom.
I haven't had a chance yet, but I'm going to listen to it soon. And if you guys don't have a chance to listen to it, but you want to support your local comedians, if you want to make Cincinnati a hub for cool shit, go and just drop that a fucking review and make it 5 stars and just say cool, just over the top, just be silly about it with your fucking, make it fun for yourself, you know, make it fun for the person reading it, but like fucking that shit helps people out, and like it's gonna make sure that more cool shit is coming their way and it's coming our way as a city in general.
And there's some real killers coming up soon at Go Bananas.
Go Bananas is back open, by the way.
Yeah,
Lloyd's
some
over
real
here
killers.
like Luke Young.
Shut up.
No, Lloyd's over here hooking up refrigerators and shit. They've got a new backdrop for their set. I haven't got to actually go and see it in person. I need to, because it's one of the best, genuinely one of the best comedy clubs I've ever been to with my limited going to comedy club places.
Nice.
Only been to maybe 5, the best of all the 5 that I've been to, and even nationally renowned comedians like Stanhope and fucking Sam Talent, amongst many others, say that it is one of the greatest rooms in the fucking nation, if not the world. Go and check it out and support them so that they stay open, because that's all within our local area, motherfuckers. All right, anything else before we go to the Patreon?
Smooch.
Bert,
I love
what do
you,
you
Mama.
got?
Mwah.
I love all
Nice
you.
big
Thank you.
smooch. There we go. Good night. Patreon.com/thebastardsermon.